Hello again, my people. It's Samuel Minister here, representing Blackstar Development Studios. And today, I have on my screen Figma. We'll be designing an app on stream on Figma. So this is like my normal work, but I just said I should come online and, wait for your questions. We haven't answered any questions this week. Like we haven't had any live streaming sessions this week for questions and answers like we always do. And also, we want to show you, or I want to show you how I personally create designs on Figma. Like, I wouldn't be explaining much. I would just focus on the design. I have something I'm trying to make right now for a brand called Candlewell, and it's an AI company. They utilize AI to trade and help you stay profitable, basically. So yeah, without so much talk, let's just dive right in. As always, if you have a question, leave a like in the comments. Leave a comment. Be sure to like. Be sure to follow us. We're trying to get to 500, and it's a very attainable goal. So, welcome for the ride. If you're just coming in, we'll be posting a lot more helpful content for content creators soon, especially on automation and a few other stuffs like that. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting, and we're going to be sharing a lot of stuff. So don't miss out. All right, let's get started. Today, Figma, this is what we're making right now. And yeah, you're not getting like the full picture yet, but this is what the full picture looks like. All right, so the idea is to make this, right, into a mobile friendly version for the platform, right? And like I said, it's not that difficult, but you need to think of how to implement each and every element properly, so it doesn't go against like the original design style, and a few other things that you really want to keep close watch on. Um, so first, I want to start by reading comments. I want to check what's happening. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please leave a like. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please leave a like. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please leave a like. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please leave a like. So I just noticed something about our stream, and it would be good to change it now for under education. You know, we were trying to impact wisdom and understanding. All right, so if you're just joining us, yeah, be seated. It's time to get started. We'll be doing a lot today. And yeah, I look forward to, showing everyone everything. Please pardon me, I am still testing the stream out. Okay, so if you're just joining, we're not started yet. Today, just as the topic implies, we're working on Figma. So if you're joining us on Facebook, if you're joining us on TikTok, yeah, welcome. Welcome, Dark Lila. Lila, welcome. I need to learn to do this faster. All right, let's not waste any more time. This is what we have going on today. And if you're just joining, yeah, stay tuned. We'll be doing a lot. If you're not just joining, then by all means, enjoy the ride. You'd love it. Excuse me. I like this green here, so I think I might just like foundation, primary, normal. Okay, not bad. I think this is the one that is really affecting it because of how the colors are not so bright. So let me change this instead to like our secondary color like this and see what it looks like. Yeah, there's a bit more distinction to it. And okay. So what I was trying to do was just to have this very visible so I know exactly where I am and what I'm doing. But right now it looks like it's disturbing me, so I'm just going to take it out of there. What happened? When did I lose it? So one thing I've noticed is that a lot of people don't really enjoy learning anything, and it's quite sad. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, why stop learning? The world is always growing. If there's still so much to do, why limit yourself and say, okay, this is where you want to stop, when nobody ever said you should stop? So I don't know about you guys, but my goal is to learn as much as I can. And so the shortcut for aligning to the left hand side, which is what I just used, is option A. So option A would align to the left. In case anybody was wondering what just happened. What just happened here now? Oh, 100 is bad. Oh, for some reason I'm feeling 100 today, so I'm seeing these people grow by, let's say, 10%, 10.5%. So, for those of you that are not, I do have another computer by my side. Yeah, so I can stop, turning the screen unnecessarily. So this one, I want it to be white. So even as I'm thinking about this right now, I want this guy to be like on the gray side, because if it's on the grayer side, I would have more leeway and it will blend more without being too shouty. So I'm just going to do this. The goal is for it to be visible, right? It's not to make noise, just to be visible. So this I want to put 8.6. So making $8.6 per month. I think this information is useful, so I'm just gonna make it a lighter one, just so it pops a little. So when it comes to design, it's more about understanding, right? It's your job to guide the user the way you want that thing to be understood. And in most cases, it's about adding, removing things. Since you are guiding somebody, the person might get confused sometimes. So you want to help them understand where they are and also help them understand where they are going to next, or how they can best achieve their goal. And most websites actually stick to this rule, but you still see some like odd exceptions. And in this case, it's just oh, hi. We have more people on the stream today. Welcome, 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 welcome. Today we're designing on Figma. If you're just joining, and this is our workflow so far, we are trying to make this. We're trying to make the mobile version of this basically, and this is the screen we have to work with. So the idea is to save as much space as we can, while still keeping it as informative as possible. So it's very possible, but it's about thinking of all the possible ways that the things could be arranged and then making it so. And if you check my file, I already have like a lot of lines going around. So these lines are properly measured. I want to give you an example, right? So the space is 24 here. And by the time I take it here, this is 24. If I reduce this to 16, the box here is 16. I think here is another 24 or 16 again. So 16 again. So 16 plus 16 gives me 24. And then I'm using all of this to, mark my borders. So this is another 24, just to make sure that everything is within those parameters. I don't want it to exceed by even a small amount. This is where consistency plays a very, very big role in your design. You want to always keep things consistent. You want them to, okay? So let's not even gist about it too much. I just need to show you how it is. Small gray. All right, this feels good. So I want to put approximately 7 trades per day. And this is not the font we're using, so we want to change for our text font. So it's all about consistency here, right? I'm going to keep stressing this, because I can't say it enough. Basically, consistency would always win when you're designing. It helps the user understand what they are looking at, and it also helps them recognize other things that might relate to it when they continue exploring the application. So you want to keep things consistent, basically. All right. Next up is this guy, and I'm just gonna go and add this into an auto layout so that I can manage all of them easily. So this one I could just paste. Okay, auto layout. You do Shift A for auto layout, or you could just let me undo this. So this is not a tutorial, right? It's just about me showing you how I use this particular software or how I do my designs. So I might not be calling out everything. I'll just I use a lot of shortcuts, so you have to pay attention so you don't miss when I use a shortcut. I'll try to explain the ones I use, but in this case, we're still just doing auto layout, and auto layout is Shift A, and that's what I would always use, Shift A, and it's active now for me. So next up is this guy. I want to duplicate it, so I have 3 items inside here, and then I want to start updating this information. So next I want to add how much the person will be spending if, so we're not understanding what this app entails yet, because having to explain what the app does would take, I believe it would take too long. So let's just breeze through it, and then I can explain like an overview so we understand everything that's going on in the app. Exchange, I know this should be exchange. Okay, so this is 10 and it's still too big, right? I want to give at least, so I want to give at least 20 pixels, right? Because I don't want the user to like try to read the information together. In this case, it won't happen because they don't look alike in any way, but some users are very unique. So you want to make sure you avoid those kinds of complications. So I want to make sure that this is at least 20 pixels apart. 16 is also a very good one. So maybe let's even try 16. And I just do 16 here. Yep, that's it. And then now I can like extend this. So, okay, I think this is the one. And then I want to change this. I want to make this text a tad smaller, because right now this 10 is not really giving me, sorry. So I want to go 8 bold. Yes, 8 bold is fine. And then I want to go, so this last amount shows how much profit they would have made, and we're saying this person traded made 20% profit. Like, yeah, it made 10% profit. So 10% of this would be like, let's say roughly 18K, right? So let's put 10% would be like 2,270 naira. Let's just put it that way. 2,270, right? Yep, like that. Okay, so this is what I really wanted to do all this while. I just wanted it to, you know, be in the same line, but I wasn't getting it. So I want to reduce the space between these two again, and then maybe even consider reducing the space by the side as well. But I think between the two should be enough to get me to where I want to go to. But better still, I'm just going to position everything in the middle this way. So I'm going to group it, and then, yep, they're equally distributed, and then I can ungroup so that I can like go in and like do some more in-depth changes. So this is looking fine. This is looking fresh for me. I'm liking this. So I want to draw a line here. So I want to draw a line here, and I want to make it, I think 0.5 is fine for me. The line should be a bit, and yep. I think 12 is fair. I need enough space between the top, so like information is not confusing in any way. And now it's just about adding more text. So recommended plan for you. So there's no recommended plan for us. What we want to do is we want to tell them just add some information here, and then we could use AI to update like the context of like the words itself later. But there's no need to rush. We just need to put some placeholder information here. And the way I see it, I want to add it in the center. So I want to have one up here and then another one, like a smaller one up here, another one down here, and then like a smaller overall. Let's start taking from here. I want to get to 12 because yes, 12 is fresh. Looking at 12 now, it's cool, but we want to add something bigger here next, so we want to put this at 10. 10 can now be bold, right? And we could do recommended for you. If you're wondering what I just did, it's called voice typing. It's fun. That's all I can say about it. It is super fun. Like, why type with your hands when you could just make the computer do the work, right? Who doesn't want the computer doing the work? Okay, so I've added that now. Next up, I want to add the bigger one. This is the bigger one here, and this one I want to go 14 because yes, it's bigger. Interesting. I think I'm feeling this. Feeling it, but I still want to check what others look like. So 14 regular looks like this, and I want to align it to the center. Alignment to the center should be option H, and recommended for you. Bills on the commission rate per trade executed. So I just added that information there as, like, let's call it dummy text for now. Okay, so looking at it now, so this is, I think we could test it, right? Let's just open it and look at what we have so far. Okay. So while this is loading, I'm going to come here and bring this down, right? Back to the center. Is fine for me. And I want to add some more space around it. You know, this like recommended, I'm still like looking at it with an eye, if I'm being honest. So I'm going to leave it like this, and then we could do so this is par trade executed. All right, so we want to take this, and then I just want to give it a different color. You know, like, that's why I consider that like really important information. So you want to, you know, make the customer understand that, okay, this is important information as well. And one way to drag users' attention is to just, you know, make it a little bit flashy, and hence that's what we just did. I was looking at this 14, it's too big, so we're going to go 12 instead. -1 is fine. I want to do this, see what happens. So I want to correct this. Before I used, yeah, this is what I did earlier, and that would not work. I could just have done this instead. 16 is great, but I think 14 is also fresh. And then I can now check how much space is up here. And this I can do 6. It's fine like that. Recommended for you. Let's make you a little lighter, so they know, you know, it was recommended for them. You know, that kind of thing. White. No, white is poor. I mean light color. Alright, that's fine for me. Okay, so this is it. This is all I have for now for this. And I want to test it like this as well. So bring out my rulers again. So you see why a ruler is very important in this case, right? You want to always pull it out, and you want to always check with the ruler to ensure that everything is, like, you know, perfectly placed. I don't know. Can someone tell me in the comments, which one do you think is better? Center aligned or left aligned? So now I'm checking the space between like all the edges. So I'm seeing 14 here and I'm seeing 8 here. So I need like to divide it up in a way that it can be. I'm going to group this, or even better still, put it inside an auto layout. 6 is fresh. And yeah, now I have control over the both of them by just looking at their height. Okay, 10 here, 10 here, so let's just come down 1. That's 11, 1 more, 12, 11. So normally I would want to add that like 0.5, right? Normally I want to do 0.5, but in this case 0.5 wouldn't work because it's not necessary, first of all. So I want to add that like 0.5. I think I should say hello to those right here. Hi, Alexander Cole. Welcome. Thanks for joining the live. Alexandra Cole. That's a sweet name. Really sweet. Thanks for joining. Please don't forget to leave a like. If you're just joining, be sure to give us a like so other people could see that we're also sharing like useful information and hopefully join us as well. So this, I feel this is good. So I'm going to leave it this way. 24, everything is fresh here. So now we have the card for this. So the one thing that is missing here is, the flashy background, which is fine. We can easily get that. And then I'm seeing this 12 months period that's up here that we don't have either. So what I want to do is, I remember this had like a 1 pixel shortness. So I'm going to do this and I'm going to pick up everything here and bring it down by 1 pixel. All right. And then copy, paste like that. And then 12 months period. All right, so I did get that. Nice. Yeah, like this. This didn't look. So I might be moving very fast right now, but it's not that fast. Like we don't need to be that fast in a real sense. So now I'm looking at this. I feel a little. I initially used 16 here, but what I want to do now is probably make it 14 instead. I don't know if I have a 14. No, I don't have a 14, but I could just make one by doing this instead. B. So what I use is called the red square method. The red square method simply is making sure that in your entire website there is a square, right, of said measurements that can fit into each space that is on your site, right? So bringing this up to 14 is already giving me like the vibe I want for this other side. So I'm going to do same thing to this side, I guess. This is 16, this is 14 here, this is 1, 2, 3, and this says 13. Okay, so this guy wants at least 12, which is fine. We already have a 12 here. So now I'm just like trying to fit all the information around it very well so it looks normal. Okay. So for this one, I just thought about something. Right, I'm gonna make this 8. Where's my 8 bold? Okay, good. And then I'm going to activate auto layout on it. And now for the magic, I'm going to round out all the edges with 50. I think 50 is too much, so let's just do 20. Make this 16 and give it a fill color. So 8 bold is not bad, but I'm thinking 8 regular will be better because it's not so shouty and it's not like struggling for space with the rest of the elements. I want to make it I don't know, am I still visible on stream? Okay. Excuse me. Okay, so yeah, the notification that my phone is low, so I had to check. Yeah. So what do you think? I feel like this looks good, right? Coming from this, right? This is what we were working on before. So coming from this, right, up to this, I think we're making progress here. And so yeah, we just need to continue. Next, we want to start adding the buttons, which are all of these buttons here. We will not be needing all of them. We'll just be needing 1, 2, 3 max, right? And in this case, we'll be adding some, what's it called? So I just thought about this now, and I don't think we have like a live state for our buttons. I'm just gonna check quickly. Okay, yeah, we do have a live state, but the problem is the live state is not, it's not like the other one. So we're just gonna leave it alone, just the way it is. Okay. All right, so next we need to start adding the text boxes. For text boxes, consistency remains key, right? I'm just gonna go and pick up some text boxes. So a text box and a drop down basically should be able to do everything I want to do in this case. And I'm gonna paste them here. Move them to the side so they don't like cause any commotion whatsoever. And I start adding them one after the other. But before then, I want to do this, right? I'm gonna pick up everything, start providing space. Yep. So this thing had a name when I copied it, and they called it the calculator, right? calculate your earnings like that, and we want to put it in the center. Okay, and then this can now be a lighter shade of gray, because why not, if not. Okay, we're good here. So we're telling them calculate your earnings, and we've gone ahead to provide all the information they'll be needing for that calculation to be possible. So now we're adding the text boxes, and we want to make sure that everything is still following the same pattern that we have always used. And for this one, I feel I need to take out this first and see. Okay. So when you're designing, sometimes you want to make sure that, okay, what you're making is making sense. And so right now I'm looking at the space between the card. So this space and this space, it's small. So I'm like, do I push this to this point here and leave it so it appears in the card, which means this guy now would have to shrink to meet up to this one, like that, right? It's not looking bad. It's not looking bad, but what if this was done instead? Right? It's still going to be the card, but it's just going to be a little bit different. So that's all the possibilities now that are in my head. So I like this version because I still have something I want to do there. And yeah, I want to check how many pixels this is. Okay, this says 48. Okay, so that's fresh. We could start making changes to this. So first of all, I want to change this to platform, right? Exchange is fine. Exchange is still the name I want to call it. And then I want to change this to Binance. Okay, first of all, I want to look at what it looks like in my prototype. Yep, that's it. So I made this already as a component, so it would definitely respond as a component, which is why I always say consistency is everything, because now that I've already made it before, I don't need to like start doing it all over again, and this will help me when it comes to speed. And so you want to build out some of these things, you want to keep them somewhere. This is where I keep mine. I don't know, okay, I call it components. Before I used to call them soundbox. So now, since this has already been created, it's all about modifying it to suit the purpose I want to use it for now. And that's not hard. So the one way I have in mind to solving that is to reduce the size completely. So this is what I did just now. That's broke. Yep. So now what I want to do instead is scale, and that goes in K. I don't know if you use it as a designer, but if you press the letter K, you should have the scale tool, which is what is like showing up here. And now what I want to do is bring out my lines again, and then try to get this line here, like making sure that it is aligned to that point perfectly, like that, and then I can test it again. Okay. So I see this, and I don't know if you noticed this, but once you click on the drop down, it switches, and the one that it switches to still shoots out, which is what is happening here, and it doesn't look great. For those on mobile, I feel like it would be better to view here. So it doesn't look great, but the fact that it's shooting out, and it's literally just spoiling the entire UX here. So I want to leave that, and I want to come to the component I made initially, which is this one here, right? And then I'm going to copy it. So I'm basically duplicating it. So I can make use of it here. And this is already something, so I'm just going to control, so command option B to remove from what's it called, auto layout, or sorry, to make it a normal, to detach it from a component. You know, this was a component before, sorry, I show you well. So this is a component, right? And if you're a designer, you know what components does. So in order to remove it from being a component, you have to detach it from being a component, and that is this command here. Sorry, let me just get one more. I'm just going to get a random component, and I'm going to come here and you see detach instance. So basically telling it to, okay, separate yourself from the main component. And once you do that, it will become editable on its own, and then you can change it without affecting the original component. So that is what we just did here. So now what I'm trying to do is to create a new component for this page for that for the switch we want to have it do. Okay. If you're just joining us, welcome. Please make sure to leave a like on the page so people find this useful. We're trying to get to 500 followers, so please give us a follow. That would be greatly appreciated. We share a lot of useful content about brand building, design, and tech in general. We're looking to make more human-based content going forward, and that's why we're here. We're answering questions. So if you have any question, leave it in the comments. We want to know what you're thinking or how you're using tech and how we can help you use it better. So yeah, moving on. Good. Okay, so I want to still give this a name. So we could do cal because it's for the calculator section, for that exchange calculator stuff. So I'm just going to do cal. That way we have it named for two different, like for the two different instances that it has. So now I want to check the size of this. Okay, this says 46.99, which back to the scale, and I'm just going to do, okay, it's only reduced by 1 pixel. So I'm just going to do 47 here, man. So we're done at 47. Okay, 338. So I want to copy this one and then try to scale this one, but always make sure to turn on constraints, and then I'm going to paste it here, just like that. It didn't work. All right, this one worked instead. Okay, so what I was doing, I was just checking the welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're just joining, welcome. Today we are designing on Figma, so if you're joining, be sure to okay. So what I just did now is replace. So replace is very simple and is one of the things I love the most about Figma. So sometimes I go to other design tools and I'm looking for replace and I can't find it. So one thing I like about replace is, so let's say I have this element, right? And I want to add this element here, up here. And I don't want to have to, start like clicking, removing it, adding another one, especially when you have auto layout implemented. It's just going to break shit. You don't want that. So, right? And then come to the one you want to replace, select it properly, and then you could do Shift Command R for replace. And it will just swap between the two of them. And it's always very helpful. So if you're not using it, be sure to try it out. Plus Jakarta Sans. I want to go 14 here because 14 makes a lot of sense. Okay, that's 14 spaced. So for anyone that is wondering how I got these numbers, I kind of declared them while I started the project. So we're not just starting this project, like we didn't start it on stream. It's something we've been working on for a while, and I just wanted to share it on stream with you guys since it's what we're working on currently. The goal is to just show up and work on the things we're working on. So same here by bits. So now we're just modifying it to, suit. Okay. I doubt it, so I might just do 4 like this. No, 4 is not visible. Light, yeah, light is fine, just like that. So, and just like that, we have what we need. So next up, I want to prototype it. So, it's responsive. When somebody clicks on this, what happens? You have to account for that too. And I believe it's already set up, but to be sure, or to be on the bright side, I'm just going to pick up that and then right up to this point and replace. Just like that. And then I can test it. Okay, so we are still getting the same error, but now it's not stretching out to the extreme end anymore, which is great. So it's just to still come back to what we're doing and try to reconcile the error. Okay, so this is what I want to do next. I want to get the proper size, that is from here to here, and this gives me everything I need, and it's 326, right? Let's remember that number because it's what we'll be using to play with these guys. So this one is 300, and you see this one is 334 for the width. So we want to get this. And we want to get our scale tool again, let's not forget, because if we try changing it here, it's going to break. So if I paste that value here, for example, excuse me, okay, I'm copying this now. So if I paste that value and try to change it with the move tool, it's going to break. It's just going to end up doing, you see, it didn't like really push it well. It reduced the size, and that's not what we want. So what you want to do instead is to use the K, which is scale, and you really just need to come here and reduce this like that. Perfect. Next up is this guy. Paste again. Perfect. So now they are smaller. Perfecto. Let's not forget to make it aligned, keep a proper document. And now that my components are growing, you see, I have a lot of components here now. So now that my components are growing, I could just keep extending this, extending this, extending this until I have everything I want in the document created already. So this is how I create my components. In case anybody was wondering, I don't just like start creating components first, because to me it's a bit tedious, and I don't want to end up creating something that I wouldn't make use of, that wouldn't help the process in any way. Perfect. So problem fixed. No more issue for this. So now you have perfect. So okay, we'll go and leave it. For one, it's not so glaring. So this is what I was just seeing now, is that this arrow, if you see it, this arrow is so close to the end. It's not very visible, it's not obvious, but I notice it, and that is a problem already. All right, next up, without wasting any more time, is the API key. So now I want to take this guy, this guy, pick up my scale tool again, and then do the same thing for it by reducing the size in general. And then I'm going to, okay, this has like the optional tag on it. Okay, so that was coming from me not remembering to remove the scale tool that I already added before. So in your case, you should remember. Now our red square will be very useful, because we want to determine how much space is between these two elements, and I think this much should be fine. 12 is a good number between elements. So for me, one thing I've noticed that this helped me do is what's it called? Keep like a proper organized document, right? It would always go a long way if you have everything you need. Consistency would always make things more easier for customers, so we want to always have that. So now I'm seeing like a price, which is this is the same price, and then they have the option of using multiple currencies. Currently our platform doesn't offer that, so what I want to do is just to replace this to like the normal cash one, and then put like a placeholder information here, or placeholder text that say, okay, enter the amount you want here. So I have this amount because we already have a screen for amount where you create a trade, right? So here I went ahead and used USDT instead. So I'm just going to pick up everything here like that. So I'm looking at this, and the styling inconsistency is okay. So I'm looking at this, and the styling inconsistency is going to be a problem, right? So what I want to do now is to have this one instead of I want to change the styling of this text box, because here I have like the add trade section, and the add trade section have this distinct style for the text boxes. These text boxes I used initially are for the sign up process, which requires more flashy or more solid recognizable elements for users. So I'm going to pick up this one now. Okay, before I do that, I want to check this. Yeah, I want to pick up the sizing again. Xbox amount, is that it? Okay, that's it. And get my K tool, reduce it. Right. The goal is to reduce it drastically. And that was just done. Forgive my beach screen. It was just too intense to avoid. Okay, so one thing I want to do now is to test this. I want to see what this guy looks like. Okay, it doesn't change much, which is just great. So I want to do this instead. I'm going to copy. You see this particular one? I'm just going to copy the styling on it. Control. So to copy the styling on an element in Figma, you need to do Option, Command, and C. So Option, Command, C will copy the styling of that element. It wouldn't copy the element, just the styling. Then now I can just pick up that styling and bring it here. And yeah, that's it. Modify this. So like this instead. Oh, okay. So I just made a mistake, right? But it's not a very big deal. I'll walk you through it right now. So first of all, this is not a component, right? And then I am editing it, and I'm hoping it will change here. And I'm hoping it to change here, and it's not reflecting that change. So what I need to do instead is to come here, make this a component, and to do that is Option Command K. Same thing with this other one, Option Command K. Then now I can copy this out, right? After copying, cut it, and replace this one. And now we have it looking consistent with the rest of the elements on the page. So now this page is giving me a line aesthetic. So most of the elements here are just like line dividers, numbers. So no like full colors for the customer to worry about or anything. So with that, excuse me. 50. Reducing the price. Then I'm going to extend this again to add one more element, which is right here. And then one thing I always add in cases like this is tooltip, right? So every element here needs a tooltip because you want to explain what each section does to the customer, or in case the customer is having difficulty understanding what a specific section does, the tooltip will always be there to guide them or help them understand more what they're doing. And I already have that, so I'm just going to come and copy it from somewhere I already have. Like some people might be wondering why I've been copying everything so far. To be honest, I advise you to do the same, because having to create, if you delete something and recreate it again, the chances of you creating it the exact same way is very slim, especially if you don't remember the exact numbers you used. If you want to just guesswork it, it wouldn't work. And my mentor always says, make sure that your elements or the elements of your designs are reusable, and that is what we have here. reusable elements everywhere. Okay, so we want to add one here in exchange. We want to pick up the two of them, and we want to set the direction this way. It's so easy. So now I just added this into this particular auto layout. Sorry, into this place. There was an auto layout here before. The auto layout broke. I created a new auto layout between just these two elements. That is the exchange, which is the what's it called? Which is the text, the text box title, and then the tip icon. This is what the tip looks like when you click on it. Really cool, right? For those on mobile, this is what it looks like. Yeah. And when you click elsewhere, it will just like disappear. And then it could also be timed to disappear. It's all on you at this point. And then we still have our responsive. You know, everything is looking good. Everything is really, really looking good from what we'll have so far. It's just to, you know, go in and then add the final touches. And I want to make use of this particular element again, but this time I want the space to be 24. So why I'm going 24 is, if you remember this section here, right? The space between these two text boxes is 16, right? This is hierarchy. So now we're talking about element hierarchy. The space between these two elements here, which is the exchange and the amount, is 16. How do I know? We did it earlier, and if I put my 16 square here, and I see it's like 16 here, and it just fits, right? So I want to add a space that wouldn't make the user feel like, okay, these two areas are connected, and the easiest way to do that is to add more space, right? It's like seeing a full store. The longer they have to look to see the next element, they feel like, okay, this is like a different flow, or maybe this button does something different. So you want to do that. You want to add hierarchy. I could go 32, but I feel 32 is too much in this case because they are still form elements. They are still part of the form. So we want them to still be there. Right. So that's it. I want to make this one darker. I want to see if it would, yeah, it showed up, but not bad. Nope, I need that square back. Please show here, stay there. Okay, so it's not that bad, but let's make this, let's add this instead. You know, so it's a little bit more visible. Wouldn't kill. I want to do this again. So copy, paste, same thing, create auto layout. Let me do it without the shortcut. So add auto layout, right? And then I change the direction. So by default, auto layout goes vertically, right? So now I'm just changing it to horizontal, and then it will move. I have a space of how many here? 8. 8 is great, but 4 is far better. It's 2 tip. You want it to be associated. The more space between the elements, the user would feel like the elements are not connected. So you want to reduce the space between them, especially when you want them to understand, okay, yeah, these two things might actually mean the same thing, or might actually be from the same, might actually be for the same purpose as per se. Next up, we want to add one final button, which is select coin, right? You want to select which particular coin the user will be going for. And in this case, there's something I want to make use of. This is the pair dropdown, which is this one here, right? It's the pair dropdown that enables you choose between which pairs to trade. And I think it's the best one to use, right? I think it's the best one to use. So I'm just going to copy it, bring it down here. right? And then I want to detach the instance again, just like we did the first one. So detach instance, option command B. Same thing, option command B. And then I want to add that cal, so we know that it's like in the same, like it's to be in the same region. Your naming convention is important. It will help you organize things in your document always. So make sure to have good naming conventions. Okay, so I want to pick up this one, and with this one, I want to test what a rounded corner would look like on this one. So we're going to go rounded. I'm going to go very rounded at 30. All right, that's very rounded. And then same thing for this one, 30. Great. Now next I want to increase this one. So 12 is good, but 16 will be better because of how rounded. So now I'm looking at how rounded this area is. You don't want 12. 12 doesn't look rounded enough. It looks too sharp. So 16, a bit more rounded, and then you could form a better shape around it. So pair, great. Now is about the sizing again. We want to copy that width, and then we want to get our K tool, and we want to start updating everything. This and that. So for the fact that I've built it before, you see, I'm just like copying it, replacing the things I want to replace, and going forward with the design. If I had to like recreate it from scratch, then the delay will be too much. Especially now, competing with AI can make this way faster. So if you still want to be able to defend what you do, new things have to be implemented, and in this case, speed is very important. So anything that increases your speed is a welcomed addition. Hmm. Okay, so checking it. What do you guys think? So this is what we have made so far, right? And this is what it looks like. We have drop downs that are active here, and this is the one we just added. This should be scrollable, so I want to attend to that next. The fact that it's so big, one, and occupying all the space is not great, so I want to update that. But this is what we have made so far, and this looks really clean. And so far, all we have done is implemented the red square method. We have also done some hierarchy. Like, hierarchy is really important because it would not look as great if proper hierarchy wasn't implemented. So you want to always implement hierarchy. Some of the new elements we added, like the tooltip, which is not in the original design that we were following, which is right here. but they implemented it in a different way, which is this Y you see here. It's a little more intuitive for maybe their audience, but the Nigerian man knows what a tooltip is. We're smart, and this works perfectly. Now with this, I'm loving this. So what I want to do is to add one more element to this particular so the element is nothing special, right? Just to point out something, I'm just going to add a circle. I want to use a define size. Define size. I want to go 44. 44 is like, if you want to be on mobile, 44 is the smallest button you're allowed to use, that it is still clickable to the user. If you go, you can still go lower than 44, but it becomes difficult for the user to now like use their thumbs to, get that click area. So for in this case, 44 is just right. Great. All right, watch me closely. Okay. So it's not very visible, but it's still there. Next up, I want to add inner shadow. And this inner shadow, I want it to start from bottom. And I want it to have like a like a lot of blur. So let's go like 10. 10 is a very good number. And then this is the weird part. I'm gonna make it white. Okay. So the goal is to make it feel like it's popping out. And we haven't gotten that effect yet. So I'm going to reduce the blur a little so I get like the exact size. So I know exactly where it is. I think 70 should be fine for this guy. Okay, so that's it. So what I want to just add here is something simple. In case anybody is wondering what this particular section is for, read this or get information, like a notification or an information icon. So questions? All right, you're going to give it auto layout. That way it looks great where it is, and try to centralize it a little more. I think this is great. This came out really nicely, and this is what we have so far. This is what we have, and up next I want to add a pop-up that will show up here when this button is clicked. So just stay tuned. That's the next thing that's coming up. All right, this is looking good, so I'm going to move on. I wouldn't be needing this anymore because, okay, in case anybody was wondering, this is the animation I designed for this. So I was using Lottie. Okay, gotta log in. Okay, so now Lottie is trying to get me to pay for stuff, which is obviously not what we want to do. So we're still like making use of the free, um, like the free one. We have to pay for it. That's as if you are just starting as well. Try not to stress too much. All right, so this is what I made for this, like for that card. So now imagine this card, and then this stuff will be just dancing inside of it, and this is what it looks like. It's like it turns your eyes, but obviously it's going to be slower than it is right now. We're going to like reduce the speed and make it more, we're going to even put it in the background and then like a black overlay on it, so it's not going to really, but this is the problem I'm having. It's not previewing. I don't know if it's the fact that I used SVGs or for some other reason, but it's just not previewing. And it simply means I might have to like make it all over again, which is fine. But yeah, these are some of the other ones I've designed. This is a loader animation for the same brand, and this is how that animation is supposed to be previewing for us to be able to add it to wherever I want to add it to, right? But so far we might have to do it again just to get it. I would be sure to update you guys on that if it was like made again or if it just like eventually worked. All right, next up is this. And in order to get this, we already have pop-ups, which is right here. So I'm just going to pick up one. Excuse me. So I'm just going to pick up one, and I'm going to just update all the information on it. So everything here is going for sure. How we calculate earnings. If anyone is wondering again, I already spoke about this. This is voice typing. If you're not doing it, you're missing out. All right, so same information here, and then all we need is like text information. This can go. This can definitely go. Then this, I want to update this to be a bit darker. Okay. Hi Wizzy, welcome to Lulu. I'm on a name, they shock me. Now I want to make use of AI and I want to like restructure that text to be something more fitting for the brand I'm working on right now. And at this point, this is like standard practice. Instead of it's still all about maximizing speed, right? Instead of trying to come up with all the text on your own, you could still just make it all out with AI and improve your speed. Because I already pointed that AI can do all the stuff. I think ChatGPT updated their UI. Okay, now we have it open. Now we have it open. We just need to add all this and say, I would like for the text to be smaller and for you to replace everywhere you see width. Just like that. Okay, nice. So that simple text gotten. I want to give it 12 regular. Okay. So just like this, and I want to add a so I want to add like an like a character illustration here because this way it will make it more catchy. I'm looking at it now, maybe calculate is a better word to search for something useful. So let's see if we could get anything that relates to calculation. Perfect. And yeah, this is it. So we're taking this guy. So let's change the color. Let's pick up our primary color. All right, this is it. All right, so this is it. This is it. We're done. Right? All we did was get the button, get the text, modify the text with ChatGPT, added an SVG illustration, to help communicate what the message is about more. Calculator, added that just to showcase the whole calculator stuff. Also to bring a little color into the page. The page was looking a bit boring with just the text. We run the risk of, having this type of design as well, which is not what we want to do. We don't want to look like the competition, or we don't want to look like where we're getting our design ideas from. It's supposed to give you an idea, not tell you everything about it. So yeah, that's it. So we'll be stopping here today on the stream. I want to know what you learned. Please leave a comment if this was helpful, if watching our design process works for you. Also leave a comment, and don't forget to like. We're trying to get to 500 followers on TikTok right now, and we're streaming on TikTok right now. So if you're watching us from TikTok, please give us a follow. We show up here every week, and we talk about branding, we talk about design, and we talk about AI. So be sure to tune in at this time by 8 p.m. and we'll be sure to have something spicy waiting for you. All right, that'll be all for today, guys.